Good evening and welcome to the annual Fleet Transport Awards event. But on this occasion, it's like no other. Normally, Fleet Transport would be honouring best practice in road haulage and choosing Irish Truck of the Year. But in these unprecedented times, Fleet has taken a different route, so to speak, by paying tribute to transport heroes involved during the early stages of the coronavirus. This evening, thanks to our sponsors, the Health and Safety Authority, the Road Safety Authority and CombiLift, we announced the Fleet Transport Strength in Unity Transport Heroes Award recipients, along with the inaugural Fleet Truck Brand of the Year and Fleet Van Brand of the Year Awards 2021, honouring ordinary people doing an ordinary job in extraordinary times. We are pleased to demonstrate how the road transport and logistics sectors responded in one huge national effort to meet the demands of delivering vital PPE equipment, goods and services within the supply chain. All resources were made available, with commercial vehicle dealers supplying additional trucks and vans, while spare storage capacity was also provided by transport operators. From the entries and nominations received, the panel were overwhelmed by the extent that the companies and individuals went in going the extra mile and how they reacted and responded to transport needs during this coronavirus pandemic and nationwide lockdown. Not only are road transport and logistics companies being honoured, but also passenger transport operators who also kept their wheels in motion during the ongoing difficult time. And I'm very pleased to introduce from Fleet Publications, Sean Murtagh, who's going to explain this year's awards. Sean.
Thanks, Shay. Well, this has been an extraordinary year. What started out as a 2 to 3 week lockdown has become a lifestyle for many people. And for the transport industry, one of the first challenges was to give people, consumers, confidence that the shop shelves would always be full and that hospitals and care homes would be able to receive their PPE and other supplies. Now, obviously, our annual awards were going to be different this year than any other year. And we asked people, companies, fellow workers, to nominate their heroes and people that they felt had gone above and beyond the need in their own job. Now, we fully accept that truck drivers and bus drivers are not on the very front line, but they're key workers and they're there in support of all industry. So we really want to recognise the recipients tonight as ordinary people doing ordinary jobs in extraordinary times.
Thank you very much, Sean. And now it's time to announce the award recipients. And the first recipient of the specially commissioned Fleet Transport Strength in Unity Transport Heroes Awards goes to Joanne Mellon, BWG Foods. In the best of times, operating a complex distribution network is a balancing act, and COVID-19 presented new challenges and placed BWG Foods in uncharted waters. To stay agile amidst change and crisis, Joanne Mellon, as a leader of large logistics teams, had to make strategic decisions and ignite commitment from every member of the BWG Foods supply chain. Joanne believes effective crisis leadership is all about the people. As logistics director, she focused on lessening the impact of chaos on her team by paying attention to communication, ensuring clarity of vision, and building solid relationships between everyone within the BWG food supply chain. Building strong local relationships is very much one of the values of BWG. They partner with more than 650 suppliers, dealing directly with approximately 14,000 customers in the retail, food service and licensed sectors, serving in excess of 1 million shoppers every single day. The majority of these customers serviced during the pandemic entered panic buying driven by fear. Increased demand for product, and in particular areas such as bond, put enormous pressure on an already busy supply chain, and Joanne Mellon had to ensure sufficient supply nationwide. Our next Fleet Transport Strength in Unity Transport Heroes Award goes to Crane Worldwide Logistics. Crane Worldwide Logistics tells us that customer service is at the core of everything they do, and they're obsessive about their clients' everyday needs. How this team has reacted to COVID has been seamless, and the impact to their clients' operations was non-existent. The Crane team of key workers stepped up to the challenge, managing the imports of batteries to a major ventilator producer in Ireland, which had ramped up their production by 40% to adhere to the increased demand on getting ventilators into Irish hospitals. The batteries are a crucial component of a ventilator machine and are specialised freight movement that require close management every step of the supply chain. With very limited options to move shipments from Vietnam into Ireland, the team managed all the express air shipments into the country for the client. In addition, the team supported a client with final mile deliveries of ventilators that were being assembled. With 90% of the Irish staff working at home to ensure safety standards were adhered to, frontline workers managed the workload with support from the home-based workers. This award is in recognition of strength of unity and teamwork during a very challenging time. Our next Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Hero Award goes to DPD Ireland. While many businesses were forced to grind to a halt during the full COVID-19 lockdown, DPD adapted and accelerated its operation quickly and efficiently to deal with the growing dependence on its services. DPD acted immediately and put its full resources to work, ensuring that the businesses and people depending on its services during lockdown were looked after safely and in a timely fashion, despite the many challenges, unknowns and fluidity of the COVID-19 landscape. Providing next-day delivery with 33 depots in Ireland, which handle up to 30 million parcels a year, DPD plays a crucial role in Ireland's essential supply chain. Every day the company collects and delivers urgent products to and from GP surgeries, pharmacies and hospitals. DPD also helps deliver essential items to people working from home, as well as those forced to cocoon as a result of the pandemic. With many retail businesses pivoting online due to the pandemic, DPD Ireland has also provided logistical solutions to those in need, allowing businesses to continue operating while continuing to reach their customers despite store closures and lower footfalls in shops. Without DPD's services, many businesses would not have survived lockdown and remain open today. Our next Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Hero Awards goes to Martin Ryan Haulage. Well-known Midwest-based road transport company Martin Ryan Haulage Limited, established in 1960 and based at Cappamore, County Limerick, provides 110 jobs in a rural community. The family-owned business, now in its second generation of ownership and management, is recognised for years for their extensive community work. In brief, Martin Ryan Haulage undertook a number of initiatives to serve the community during COVID-19. They provided full transport facilities to a local food charity group to distribute food in rural Limerick, instigated a free vehicle maintenance facility during the crisis for a local handyman service supporting elderly in the area, and also provided the same service for the local daycare centre. Increased employment in a time that 35% of the local workforce were losing their jobs. Martin Ryan Haulage, as a national transport service provider for refrigerated foods into Aldi and Lidl across Ireland, with 4,500 tonnes of deliveries weekly, helped to maintain 25% of national domestic food demand. Failure to operate at this level would have had a significant effect on food availability nationwide from the regional supermarket distribution hubs. Our next Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Heroes Award goes to Pierce Kavanagh Coaches. Pierce Kavanagh Coaches is based at Urlingford, County Kilkenny. Their business plan and forecast came crashing down around them in March, with the best laid plans and projections literally not worth the paper they were written on. Deposit refunds on booked tours, rebooking passengers, and cancelling incoming tour series on behalf of overseas clients was their main focus over the first 6 weeks of the pandemic, but then preparing to restart and restructure became their focus. From the end of August until now, they've been back on the road, showcasing staycations in Ireland by coach to a determined to holiday safely demographic, carefully following the COVID-19 safety charter. One of the things that COVID-19 has shown Pierce Kavanagh Coaches is that it's easy to operate successfully during boom times with limited input for maximum output. But it was not so easy for the firm when things came tumbling down in the tourism and travel sector. Their team, drivers, mechanics, back office employees, but most of all hotel partners and media partners have stood by them, worked with them to their absolute best, shown a new level of flexibility to ensure they were able to start operating straight away when the time was right. Our next Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Heroes Award goes to Polar Ice. Polar Ice wanted to recognise their drivers, Raivo Podniak, Anthony Crosby, Ronan Dunn and Stephen Flanagan for the Fleet Transport Awards 2021 Strength and Unity Transport Heroes. Anthony, Raivo, Ronan and Stephen continue to demonstrate an unwavering commitment to customers and to Polar Ice throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. In the face of many new and unprecedented challenges, they all adapted quickly as a team. They were extremely receptive to the uptake of new safety measures and new ways of working to help protect our customers and the entire Polar Ice team. The drivers are the face of the company, and their communication and customer service skills are invaluable. Due to the nature of the products employing just-in-time manufacturing, it's vital that customers receive the products shortly after production. The drivers ensure that the products are delivered precisely when needed, providing a critical link to customers in the medical, food processing and pharma industries. Dry ice is used to ship medical samples related to COVID-19 testing and is also used in the storage and distribution of blood products. Polar Ice's products are of an essential nature, supporting frontline workers. Our next Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Heroes Awards goes to SEAT Ireland. When the COVID-19 pandemic crisis hit in March, one of the most vulnerable in our society were the frontline workers, who were relied upon heavily to help us combat the virus. Management and staff at SEAT Ireland brainstormed on how the company could assist the frontline heroes to keep them safe from the virus so they could get to work and home safely, limiting their chances of contracting the virus. From the discussions, they decided that it could offer a fleet of cars and electric kick scooters to the frontline workers who would normally take public transport. It was critical that frontline workers kept their distance from the public when working tirelessly to save lives. The SEAT Alhambra vehicles are used to aid in the transportation of patients who have been discharged from hospital back to their homes safely. This has reduced the cost to the hospital and patients. It's also meant that patients' next of kin no longer need to enter the hospital to collect loved ones. As well as this, a fleet of SEAT EXS kick scooters are being used by staff who need to get from their homes to the hospital and back to ensure they keep their physical distance. This has resulted in reducing the chances of the frontline workers and their own families at home from contracting the virus. Our next Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Heroes Award goes to Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles Ireland. Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles Ireland and Mars Ireland teamed up with the Feed the Heroes, the national fundraising organisation, to deliver over 25,000 Mars Ireland Easter eggs donated to the critical frontline workers across the country, including hospitals in Dublin, Cork, Galway and Kerry. 5 members of the Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles Ireland team took it upon themselves to go above and beyond by delivering the Easter eggs to every hospital in Ireland over a 5-day period. They were driving up to 1,600 kilometres a day and delivering up to 3,500 eggs, or a Volkswagen Crafter panel van full of eggs in terms of size. Alan Bateson, director of Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles, said, "We are delighted to be able to support the Feed the Heroes in some small way with the use of our vehicles. Together with Mars, who donated the Easter eggs, we came together to say a small thank you to the frontline workers in our hospitals over Easter. I applaud my team at Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles for their work on this initiative. These guys did not have to do this. They didn't have to put themselves at risk and quite simply could have said no. Instead, however, they got our fleet of demo and press vehicles and got on with it, something I am so proud of and will forever remember. These are my heroes, and in many cases were seen as heroes in the eyes of those people considered as the most important at that time, and still now, our frontline workers." Our next Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Heroes Award goes to Wexford Bus. Wexford Bus is a commercial bus operator providing public transport across a network of licensed bus services in the southeast and carries the lion's share of passengers that travel on the M11 corridor between Wexford and Dublin City and Airport. The company operated an uninterrupted but reduced schedule throughout the pandemic to facilitate essential workers, carrying as little as 3% of the usual volume of customers at times. Resilience is defined as an ability to recover from or adjust easily to misfortune or change. The Wexford Bus team showed resilience throughout this crisis. The team quickly embarked on a series of alterations to its fleet to reduce the contact between passengers and drivers and maintain physical distancing. In addition, Many new work practices and new technologies were introduced to reduce the risk of contracting COVID-19 while travelling with Wexford Bus. For example, new cleaning facilities, disinfecting regimes, introduction of card payment devices, coin drop facilities, and the promotion of booking in advance through the website. As restrictions were eased, the company increased the number of services operated and are now operating all scheduled services as per licence, albeit at 50% capacity. There will be difficult months ahead as the industry continues to adapt to the changing environment, but each week, Wexford Bus has seen a growth in passenger numbers, which is very encouraging for all. Our final Fleet Transport Strength and Unity Transport Heroes Award goes to Zellwood Limited. This year marks the 25th anniversary for Zellwood, one of Ireland's leading temperature-controlled logistics and distribution companies. Founded by brothers Mark and William Flanagan in 1995 and based at Marshallstown, Swords, County Dublin, safety, quality and professionalism are the road transport firm's priorities at all times. During this global pandemic, these priorities remain the same. While the rest of the country were in lockdown during early COVID-19, the company's team went above and beyond the call of duty to keep the supply chain moving, some sacrificing their own family living arrangements and commitments to ensure that supermarket shelves nationwide were full of essential food products. With the demand for its services greater than ever, the staff's safety and well-being were the company's main focus. It was vital that the highest safety measures were introduced in accordance with the government's regulations, making the workplace safe for all involved. The company is extremely proud of the hard work and commitment shown by all the team at Zellwood and appreciate all the frontline workers. All essential workers are heroes and together play a major role in keeping our country moving. This year, the annual Fleet Transport Irish Truck of the Year Awards has also changed. And here to explain is Jarlath Sweeney.
Yes, Shay, for this year we had to take a different route from our annual Fleet Transport Irish Truck of the Year Awards. Heretofore, we usually test drive and appraise the contenders nominated for Best Fleet Truck, Best Flagship, Best Distribution, Tipper, etc. But due to the restrictions, we were unable to do this. So here we came up with a new initiative to seek out the Best Fleet Truck Brand of the Year and Best Van Brand of the Year. And not only did we look for submissions from the truck and van distributors, but we also interviewed a broad selection of transport companies that operate a mixed fleet of vehicles to tell us about the journey from dealing with truck or van brands from once they place the order to specifying the vehicles to receiving the keys. And we also take into consideration the aftermarket service provided.
Thank you, Jarlath. This is the inaugural Fleet Van Brand of the Year Award 2021, and I am delighted to announce the winner is Mercedes-Benz Commercial Vehicles. And the final award for tonight. The winner of the inaugural Fleet Truck Brand of the Year Award 2021 goes to DAF Trucks Ireland. Congratulations once again to all the recipients of these special commendations. Joanne Mellon, BWG Foods, Crane Worldwide Logistics, DAF Trucks Ireland, DPD Ireland, Martin Ryan Haulage, Mercedes-Benz Commercial Vehicles, Pierce Kavanagh Coaches, Polar Ice, Sayat Ireland, Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles, Wexford Bus and Zellwood. Many thanks once again to the event sponsors, the Health and Safety Authority, the Road Safety Authority and CombiLift. As mentioned earlier, the annual Fleet Transport Awards took a different turn from its usual gala dinner banquet. We all look forward to returning to the big stage next year. Stay safe and keep each other safe. Take care.